We're here with Fredrik Åkesson from Opeth.
Hi.
Hi.
Hello.
Can you say something in Swedish?
Hej på er. Ja, det är gott det.
What does that mean?
It's like, hi guys, it's all good, something like that.
Cool. So what guitarist inspired you to take up music?
When I was a kid, it was first Ace Frehley and Angus Young who got me interested in playing hard rock, metal guitar, you know. But then I saw Michael Schenker on TV, and that was the kind of thing got me practice a lot more. And then I had Ed Van Halen, a bunch of guys like Gary Moore, Richie Blackmore, Julian Roth, Frank Marino, Canadian guitar player from Mahogany Rush. Tons of guys. Really.
Yeah, it is a big list.
Yeah, that's just a small part of it.
Was growing up in Sweden a big part of wanting to play music? A lot of big death metal bands come out of Sweden. Is your surroundings influence that? Are you wanting to pick up guitar?
Yeah, I mean, we have like 3 months of sunshine each year, so it's pretty dark. Like the winter time is very dark. Maybe that has something to do with it. That people, like, I don't want to go out. It's too cold and dark. Might as well sit home and play. You know, that could be something. And the surroundings, as you mentioned too, maybe.
Does it have the darkness? Does that have anything, do you think, to do with the Opeth sound, maybe?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we have some sort of foresty sound sometimes, and there's a lot of forests in Sweden. I do like to walk around in the forest as well. You know, when you've been on the tour, it cleanses my head in a good way, I think. You can find some good energy from the forest, definitely.
Yeah. So when did you first meet Michael?
We met at some pub in Stockholm, maybe 8 years ago. I was playing in this metal cover band, played Judas Priest and King Diamond covers. And he came up to me and asked me if I wanted to give him some guitar lessons. And I was like, are you fucking kidding with me? Because he's a pretty good guitar player. And then we had like talked on and off about jamming a bit. And then we were on the same tour with Gigantor in the States in 2006. At that time,
that one, yeah.
Ah, cool. At that time I played with Arch Enemy. So I guess that had something to do with me started playing with Opeth, because they saw me play and they knew I had the psyche for this heavy kind of touring life, which kind of gets to you after a while. You know?
Were you a fan of Opeth before?
Yeah, I was a big fan.
Yeah.
So it was extra cool to get the opportunity. You know? So yeah.
Do you know why Michael decided to ditch the death growls on Heritage?
I think, you know, Opeth has always been about doing something new. We don't want to repeat ourselves. I think you can find that if you listen from the first Opeth album to this one, every album has something different, unique to offer, I think. It's very important for us to not do the same album like a part 2 record, because it's usually end up like shit. I mean, same with movies, like part 1 and part 2. Part 2 is usually crap, or at least worse than part 1. So that had something to do with it. I know that when we started, Michael writes the majority of the stuff. When he started, it sounded a bit like a continuation of Watershed, our last album. But he actually deleted those 2 tracks that he was working on, which was they were really good. And it's very important for him to do something unique for this 10th album, I think. Otherwise, the band might not have existed if we wouldn't have done this album.
Really?
We needed to do something new that was fresh for us and the fans.
Okay.
But it doesn't necessarily mean that we rolled out the growlings in the future.
Oh, okay.
So, we'll see what happens.
Heritage is also really 70s inspired. How do you stay progressive while having retro influences? I know you guys used a lot of old instruments on this album.
Yeah, we wanted to do like a very honest kind of recording, because it's kind of common these days with modern, so to speak, metal productions. Everything is a bit too corrected. Like maybe, you know, for the drums, for instance, there's a lot of sound replacements. And we didn't want to do that. We want to have the sound of an actual drum, what it sounds like when you hit it. So there's no cheating or anything on this album, and we wanted to do like an earthy kind of organic production, which we did. You might want to close that. So yeah, we went for a more 70s kind of sound, but I mean, some riffs on this album, if you would have played it with a like a metal sound, would still be kind of death metal in a way. You still have the darkness like that you can hear in all the Opeth albums. It's a bit less death metal, or not at all really. But still, if it wasn't for the death metal heritage with Opeth, we probably wouldn't have done this album either. So it's still in there somewhere, lurking.
What artists and albums influenced you on this album? Anyone in particular?
Well, a lot of like Swedish folk tones you can hear on the album. Like the intro track is very inspired from a guy called Jan Johansson, who wrote a classic, a jazzy, folky tone album called Jazz in Swedish, if you translate it. And you also have inspiration from this song called Slither on the album, which is a tribute to Ronnie James Dio, who sadly passed away. And that is definitely inspired by the 70s kind of hard rock stuff, the early Rainbow, Deep Purple stuff. And you also have, I know Michael listened a lot to a band called Magma, a French prog band from the 70s. So there's tons of inspiration.
I thought you almost, for a second, I thought you said Marky Mark.
Marky Mark and the Wildwood. Yeah. I listen to that all the time.